Today in this video, what I'm going to be talking about is whether you should use your own name or a business name for things like starting a business, starting a blog, the branding, type of, building up your social brand and in marketing yourself, or trying to do something like that. What's up, guys? So if you're just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. You are in the place where you can learn how to build the kind of life that you want. So I got this question, and he says, hi, John. I hope this email finds you well. I'm currently following your blog course, and I was just wondering your review on my question. I'm debating to either use my name or a business name I have come up with. The reason I'm wanting to start a blog is to boost my freelance business, and I'm about to start. I happen to be using my own name for freelance business. So what would you personally do in this situation? Use your own name or a business name? And P.S. Love the content. Keep up the good work. Basically, the big question here, right, is whether or not you should go into business, right? Especially, building a brand. When you build a brand, that's really the key to my business philosophy is building a strong brand. So should you build a brand under your own name? Okay, or should you build the brand under the brand name, the business name? This might seem like an easy decision to make, but there's a lot of reasons why you would choose one or the other, and it's not quite as straightforward as you would imagine. Let's talk about, first of all, the pros of using your own name. So the biggest thing with using your own name is simply this, is that people connect better with people, right? And what we could also do is we could say not just your name, but your face, right? So if you look at like Bulldog Mindset, I am using my face. Now, the brand is called Bulldog Mindset. It's not my own name, but I'm using my name, right? I say I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. I talk about that on the page. You can see my story. So I'm definitely branding it under my name, my persona. Okay, we could say that I'm the spokesperson of the business, and there's some advantages to that, right? Like, imagine if I had this as kind of a generic YouTube channel where I had some animations, and animations are cool, right? But you didn't see my face. Okay, I didn't really have my personality into it, and it was just the Bulldog Mindset brand. It would be a lot more difficult for you to connect, to become a follower, to become a rabid follower, right? Some of you are really excited about this shit, like you like what I'm doing. Why? Because I'm a person. You see my flaws, you see my successes, you see my story, right? You've seen me come along, or you can see my history. You can see the medals on the wall. You can see that I'm walking the walk. I'm walking the talk, whatever it is, right? I am a fucking bulldog, right? I go and I run fucking marathons at 230 pounds or so, right? That I'm in the gym, I'm lifting, I'm working on my physique, I'm working on the mental toughness. I've got the money that a lot of people are promising you they'll teach you how to make, but they don't actually have it. I do real estate investment. You can see and watch these things. There's a huge value, right, in that. You can connect with me as a person. Okay, if I just had the animation, it'd be kind of hard, right? I might have valuable advice, but who is this guy? Why should I trust him? Why should I trust this brand? Okay, it's going to be a lot harder. People will more likely to follow people, right? You all kind of create a celebrity out of yourself. Using your name, using your persona, right? I kind of group them together. There's some advantages in that you'll grow faster, and you will be able to connect with people better. You're going to have a higher level of trust, right? And one of the really important concepts of business, in order to make a sale, in order to sell anything, in order to really make any kind of transaction, it all depends on trust. So having a face, having a name is really important, but there's a big downside. If you've been following me for a while, right, I have another brand called Simple Programmer, right? I was the face of that, right? Some people still consider me to be the face of that, and I'm still there, right, to some degree on there. I'm just not as present, but there is a big difficulty with me bringing on a business partner in that company and wanting to kind of step away and not be the face of the company, because I was writing all the emails. Okay, I was the one who wrote the books. I was writing all the blog posts. I was making all the YouTube videos. Okay, so the whole Simple Programmer was synonymous with John Sonmez. Without me, the business doesn't function. It doesn't exist. Okay, that's how Bulldog Mindset is right now. If I disappear tomorrow, Bulldog Mindset will not carry on. Now, Simple Programmer will now. I had to extract myself from it, but that's a difficult process, and I'm not fully extracted from it. I could remove myself more. I like to be at least somewhat involved in it, but that's the downside, right? If you use your name, if you use your persona, then you are the core critical, you're the talent, Okay, you're the celebrity in the business. You're building a celebrity business to some degree. Think about, Oprah without Oprah, or Tony Robbins without Tony Robbins, right? You can think of these kind of name brand things, or just about any celebrity, right? Their brand doesn't exist without them. You got to be, interfacing with your audience and with your fans and with your customers, okay, to some degree, right? You can only automate that so much, and you can only scale that so much. Now, there's definitely people that have been able to scale a personal branded business. Okay, it definitely has happened, but it's much more difficult. It's easier to gain traction. It's easier to grow initially, but it's more difficult to grow beyond that. IBM, right? Apple, okay, big tech companies, Facebook, all right, these are not personal brands, all right? You're not going to reach that scale with a personal brand, right? The closest that you could possibly say is Walmart. Now, a name can boost you. If you look at Kylie Jenner and her cosmetics brand, she is the youngest billionaire, right? Her brand is actually her, right? She's the one who sells that. So there's a lot of power in this. But again, if you look at her makeup brand, okay, if we took Kylie Jenner out of that makeup brand, how much do you think it would sell? How quickly would that value of that business drop way down if she got hit by a bus, right? It doesn't matter if she gives the business to someone else. Without her interacting with her fans, without her promoting it, it doesn't really exist anymore. Okay, and there's hybrids. Like I said, the businesses that I build today are somewhat hybrids, right? Bulldog Mindset, it's right now in its infancy stage. There's a lot of me, but there's a lot of things that could be, I could bring other people in. With Simple Programmer, I brought in bloggers. Okay, I've brought in some more people on the YouTube channel on Simple Programmer. I've brought in course creators, different people to publish books and courses and things like that. You can extract yourself from out of it, but you might not want to, right? And so you think about it too, like there are businesses where, not having your name and face from the very beginning, it would be advantageous, right? Because you wouldn't have to worry about this stuff, right? You could literally just hire someone to do everything in the business, okay? Whereas, with Bulldog Mindset, who am I going to get I cannot hire out what I'm doing right now to build the brand, right? I cannot hire someone to make these YouTube videos. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be effective. It wouldn't be as effective as me doing this, right? If you're part of the membership program that I mentioned, the reason why you're paying is to get access to me, right? I mean, yes, it's the content, yes, it's the value, the information in there, but it's coming from me. I think if I just said, hey guys, you know what, you from now on, the membership is not going to involve me at all, but someone else is going to give you the content. I'll tell them what to say. In fact, I would have to at least say that. But if I said, no, this person's qualified, they're also a Bulldog, here you go, come pay this monthly fee, you'd be like, fuck you. I don't think so, John. Like, no, I came here for you, right? Again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I want you to understand the difference here. I recommend starting out a business with having its own brand, its own name, right? I don't have the business cards here, but I mean, Bulldog Mindset has a pretty strong branding. Okay, that's one thing I did with this is I want you to see this image and I want you to think Bulldog Mindset. Okay, I don't want it to be my face. Okay, at the same time, I'm using my name, I'm using my face, I'm creating the content, I am using this as a celebrity business in order to grow it. Okay, but I have a plan, I have a strategy, right? So I want you to think about, because if you never grow the business to the point where it's actually a business, it doesn't fucking matter. So do the thing that's going to give you the most chance of actually succeeding, which is going to be to use your name, to use your face initially. Okay. Now, once you have money and once you're succeeding and you can hire other people and you could hire writers and stuff like that, now you need to have a way to transition out of it so that you're not stuck in it. It doesn't mean that you can't still fulfill that role, but what ends up happening, right? The smart thing to do, there's a really good book actually called E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. We'll put a link here. The audio version is really good. And we'll put a link in the description as well. You can hire yourself as the spokesperson. You can create the role of spokesperson and you can be the spokesperson. Okay. Once you have a role of spokesperson, that could be swapped out with someone else. Now, yes, people are going to be fans of you. And yes, it takes a transition to do that. Just like a late night talk show host, right? It can completely disrupt the audience when it changes over, right? When was it Jimmy Jimmy Carson, Johnny Carson, and Jay Leno, right? And who else we got? There's a whole history of them where it kind of changed the dynamic. But you can transition this over time, okay? And maybe you start a second business where you've got the money to spend on marketing to be able to fuel it with a brand. But I think a lot of businesses you can transition, and you can end up creating more of the corporate brand. But growing initially, it's going to be easier to do it as a person. There's a quiz on your Bulldog quiz, which is going to tell you, rate you on your score on a whole bunch of things that I've put together to kind of figure out how much of a Bulldog you are. So questions about financial acumen, about fitness, about social skills, about mindset, right? All the things that you need to kind of develop to succeed in life. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Click on the subscribe button, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.